Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Wanjiku Cleopatra. I am a young woman living with HIV and a very passionate advocate with regards to breaking HIV stigma. So guys, if you're new here, please consider to subscribe, and if you're equally watching this without subscribing, please just subscribe. You just need, it's free, absolutely free. And remember to put your notification bell on so that you'll get notified anytime we have a new video. Of course, it's Wednesday, and you know what happens on Wednesday. We have a new video, and today I want us to discuss a very broad topic that is affecting us, and I will start with how do you keep or how do you maintain your good mental health? How do you look after your mental health? And we start by defining mental health, which is the overall social, psychological and emotional well-being. It's the overall, yani ni hizo zote, psychological, social and emotional well-being. So guys, I'll start with I don't know how the 90s babies, how are you doing right now? How are you doing? Because between the ages of 25 to 35, that is an age that it's full of suffering and smiling. It's full of depression. It's full of overthinking. That is an age where you're confused. You don't know whether to start a business, whether to start a family, whether you don't know whether you'll make it, you don't know whether you'll achieve all your goals. And it's my hope that we the 90 babies are doing okay. And if you're not, of course, most of us are not okay. I hope we'll be okay at some point. So guys, you know, we are a generation that is living in a lot of depression. Most of the cases that we have from suicide come from the ages below 35 years, yes. And this is between 30, 35, between 25, 35 years. That is the age where we have most cases that people have committed suicide. And this is because we are a generation that is living with so many fears. A generation that is smiling, but deep down we are suffering. A generation that has, we are a sad generation. Ushaisikia that sad generation. We are toiling, we are struggling, we are making ends meet, but bado kuna pahali tu, haingiani tu. So we are a sad generation that is hiding behind. We are outside, we are smiling, but deep inside we are suffering. We are hiding our depression and all that through alcohol. There's weed, there's memes, that is where we hide our fears, our worries and all that. And that is where you'll find so many young people are giving up. They're giving up kwa sababu umejaribu, uko na kazi, hiyo kazi hailipi bills, hiyo kazi haiwezi meet all your needs, you have a family, you feel like you're being left out. And that is the reason I always tell people, please let's stop chasing people with our timelines. There's nothing like a timeline. Mimi nilisema mimi naenda na pace yako. Kuomoka haina deadline. Unaenda na pace yako. Because God ni yeye tu. Mungu ndio fundi. Kuomoka has no deadline. Unaenda tu na pace yako. Because God has everything lined up. So guys, let me ask, how do you take care of your mental health? You as a person, I as Cleopatra, how do I take care of my mental health? Because mental health is a very broad, and I feel that even learning institution should consider it like a very broad topic that should be learned. I'm glad that HIV is a common unit, even in the university. I don't think there's anyone who is taking a course without HIV. It is a common unit in every college, in every university, because they found that it's something that should be created awareness in. I'm so glad that now nanga mpaka hizi posts za activities zenye zinafanywa na wahesh or the sitting leaders, of course. Hapa chini they always have an awareness statement. Yes. Si zile za HIV, za killer disease, you take care, no, awareness. So I feel we've gotten to a point where we should consider mental health as one of the sitaki kusema calamity. It's almost becoming an epidemic, because there's no point we are getting so many people losing their lives through suicide. You get? That means there's a problem, and that problem cannot be addressed by mimi peke yangu, by healthcare providers, but as a community. And how are we supposed to do that? Look guys, I always say fertility, unemployment, death, those are things that you should not ask You should not ask. Usi history za kushinda ukiuliza mtu ati kwani mliamua hamtazaa sijui nini. Where would you? Those are things, marriage, broken marriages, divorce. Those are things that you should never ask someone, not unless they decide to speak out about them. Because those are things that are killing people. And the moment we start having those discussions, huyo mtu hata kama alikuwa anaanza kuheal ama alikuwa na get better, it takes them back, you know, takes them back. And I agree that this generation that we are living in, we are very inquisitive. We want to know, we want to, and of course most of the time someone will ask you something because they wish you well. But again, when you receive, most people who have been, like, the world has been so cruel to them, to the point that even when you ask that, they feel like you're just trying to dig in, you get, because we are a sad generation that people are afraid to speak out because they are afraid that they will be judged. It has happened, we've seen, and you will find mtu anasema tu ajieke hizo vitu, ujieke tu, kwa sababu ukiongea, mi part nikikuwa na shida niambie mabishto wangu, wataenda wanitangaze, watanichekelea, they will not help and all that. But again, remember, sharing something is half solving. It might not, you might come and talk to me and I'm not in a position to totally solve that problem, but at least if you have a discussion and talk about that, that will be one problem solved. So we are always afraid to speak out because we are afraid that we'll be judged. We will be judged, people will misquote us, people will do, which is, it's still okay. Some of us have been betrayed vibaya sana. Umeambia mtu kitu, imeenda amesema hivi, ameambia huyu, then the whole story changes, people exaggerate and all that. I totally understand. But again, remember, one of the way to make sure that you're keeping your mental health at check, it's that you should share what you're going through with someone else. It doesn't have to be your family, it doesn't have to be your friend. We have strangers. You can even step in and talk to someone. Personally, of course, I'm a very outspoken person. May I always speak out. If mimi usema hata mimi ukinikosea, mimi nisipokuuliza, just know I will one day ask, because I am that person who, I believe I am a very emotional person. I act immediately when something happens. Historia umeniambia si usema, mimi nitakuuliza. I will ask you that what's the worst that you can do? You will not beat me, you can. So I understand people are very different and you may not approach things in that way. But again, it's always good to speak out. If you're not able to speak out, the second thing that you should do, you can at least do something that you love. You get, do an activity, just something. We have people, if you're not feeling okay and you're feeling overwhelmed and everything is not working out, just do an activity. You can go for hiking, you can go for a trip, you can take yourself out for lunch, and something that you like, si kuvuta bangi ama kukunywa pombe, guys. Yes, you might like that, but that will not solve anything. You can go to the gym. There are people who feel when they are not feeling well, they are feeling so overwhelmed, they'll go and exercise, they will go for a hike, they will go for a walk, they will go for an activity, an outdoor activity. So do something that will keep you busy and will take that. Funny enough, I find people have been saying that exercising is one of the ways that makes you heal depression, heal and all that. I've not tried it, but I've seen people saying that it works and it's extremely good. Another thing is that we said you should speak to a person. Yes. If not that, eat and sleep well. Eating and sleeping well, it's equally a solution. Let me give an example. If I'm stressed up, I eat. I will eat anything and everything. I will even eat you. When I'm stressed up, I will. That is, if I'm okay, I will not. I have a very bad appetite when I'm okay. But if something is bothering me, I will eat and then I will sleep. So if that is the way that you can feel better, you can feel that the weight has at least falling off your shoulders, then you can try that. Please eat well and relax and sleep. We have people who cry. You can cry that thing over, cry it over, and it will fade away, of course. And then we have equally people who believe that they don't want to speak to anyone, but they can write it down. Please write it down. Do anything that will help you take away that feeling that you're feeling, to the point that it will not push you to make other decisions that are not okay. I want to remind you that all the cases that we have right now about with regards to sexual and gender-based violence come from mental health. We are living in a generation where you'll never speak out. People are in a family, you're married, but you'll never speak to your partner. Wanakukosea we unaweka. Anakukosea unaweka. And this is happening most to men. And most suicide cases come from men, because men have a tendency of not speaking up. We are a community that believes that a man is supposed to be strong and akakukua kijeshi, you know, kijeshi like that. But it's not like that. Men are going through so many things. I talk to men and I nasema, hey, I should thank God I'm a girl. Mimi hata sijui ningetoa pesa wapi ya kupea wasichana. You get? But it's of course this topic is not about that. But again, men are going through a lot, and we tend to assume that men are supposed to keep quiet. Like unafaa kukauka tu, kuanguka tu na hiyo ngori, wewe unafaa tu be strong, and that is what the society has made men believe. And anytime we see a man becoming vulnerable and feeling fragile and feeling overwhelmed, we tend to feel sasa huyu si kuwa mwanaume ni kukaa ngumu. But understand that we get to a point where even men need that love. And the moment you have those, you keep bombarding and all those, that's why you're getting someone killing someone and killing themselves, killing the whole family. Because these are things that have piled up. They don't have anyone to speak to. They don't have anything. And we are trying to create that awareness that men are human too. They should speak out. They can get fragile. They can become vulnerable because they're human beings. There's as apart from the fact that they are men and they're supposed to be lions and all that, they're equally human beings. So if you find that friend who has not been talking to you recently, who has gone silent, please check on them. Always check on your friends. People are going through a lot behind these closed doors. Behind this closed door, people are going through a lot, and they're afraid to speak out because they know that people will judge them. They know that people will do what? People will accuse them. Not even people will. Mostly it's because people will judge you. People will watu na vitu watasema sijui nini and all that. So it's very important for us as people, as a community, as a society, to check on each other. Kuna watu sahi in this country, kwanza in our country, people, it's bad. It's very bad. You get someone tells you they just need even 50 bob. Wanunue tu yogedheri ama anunue nini watoto wakule. So that tells you that people are going through a lot. Na ukiona mtu mpaka amefika point yenye anaona hakuna haja aishi, wacha uwe mtoto, wacha uwe bwanake ama bwana uwe familia yote, just know that person has piled up so many things in their mind that the mind cannot take it any longer, and the only thing yenye inamwambia the only solution that we have here is death. And you find most people who even commit suicide, let me just use that, commit suicide, this is as a result of so many things that wamejiekea, to the point you feel that hauna haja, like you are so useless in this community, in this, like there's nothing that you're bringing forward. And if you ask people who are going through some mental health issues and I'm feeling I've given up, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling like there's nothing that I'm bringing to the table, I feel worthless. And when you get to that point, that is where you're supposed to talk to someone. We have so many pro bono counselors and therapists who can always talk to you. Go talk to a physician, go talk to someone you trust. Please tell them what you're going through, because I believe even after that, we have cases where people have even gone through counseling and all that, but they still end up committing suicide. We've had that, but again, you cannot say that person did not try. They tried their best, and of course, at times, if it's that bad, it overwhelms you and inaenda tu unapata mtu amekufa. But I want to remind you that it's easy for me to listen to you than to read your eulogy, listen to your eulogy and all that. So guys, I want us to keep on check on about mental health. Everything we said, it's the overall mental health is the overall psychological, psychological, emotional and social well-being. It is the key to a full health. If you are not okay mentally, you will not be okay physically. It's just that it's not visible. It's just that we can't see. You know, physically you can see. Kama sasa you can see I'm not okay physically because my leg has an injury. You can see that. But mentally you cannot see. And it's a killer. It's killing our generation. It's killing our young people mostly. And the best we can do is look out for each other. Guys, let's look out for each other. And I'm trying to check the time. I'm seeing the time. Time is not on our side. And I want to remind you that we have some few tips. I have 4 tips that you can check to you can do or you can carry out to make sure that you keep your mental health in check. One thing we've said that you should always talk to a person, speak to someone that you trust. Please speak to someone. It doesn't have to be your friend, it doesn't have to be your relative, it doesn't have to be your spouse, yes, you can always talk to a stranger. I find people who are comfortable, who come to me and tell me they're very comfortable to go to go, what is it called, to go somewhere. Just go somewhere, meet a stranger, ongea naye. Huyo mtu hamtaipatana mahali, hamtaipatana anywhere. Ongea naye, mwambie this and this is happening, and you'll have solved that. The second one is that you can eat well and sleep well. That is a game changer for me. And the third one is that you can do any activity that you feel makes you feel happy. You get activities that make you feel happy, and they will take the weight off. That weight off. You can go for hiking. You can go for kuna watu wenda hiking. Kuna watu who take just a random walk. You can go to the gym. You can go and hang out. You can take yourself for a solo date and all that. But I've said, remember, these activities, si bangi, si pombe, si nini, no, not that. That one will not solve anything. You'll just feel good at the moment, but once you come back to being sober, it will not have solved anything. And now the last one is that you can speak to someone, speak to a healthcare provider, that one is the one that I've said. You can speak to a healthcare provider. You can do all that. And now the last one is that you can take some time out. What do I mean like that? If you're feeling very overwhelmed, sit back, reflect, sit back. And it's not about everything. Nasemanga, and I've seen people saying, you see your job and your employer, that is not your father or your mother. Trust you me, if you lose that job because you are not mentally okay, by tomorrow, if you happen to commit suicide because you're not feeling well, you are your workplace and all that, trust you me, by tomorrow you'll have someone else. That job, we will advertise for that job. So you need to take your time, some time out, be yourself, reflect on what you want, look where the problem is, and then you can follow the other steps that we said. So guys, I hope we've had some discussion. I said that mental health, it's not part of my what do you say, it's not part of what I do, but it's still a factor that we need to consider. Yes, and that's why I've said that we can do that. I know it's not extreme, I've not really explained, but I've at least explained with what I know and what I did in school, kidogo that I learned, and I hope that we will help someone. And the last one that I want to say is that always check on your friends, always check on your family, always check on your neighbors, because people are going through a lot. Thank you so much, and I hope you will do that, and I hope that you will do the tips that we said to maintain your mental health. Remember, your mental health, it's the overall social, psychological, and emotional well-being. You cannot operate, you cannot carry out your activities if you are not mentally okay. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Remember to subscribe if you've not subscribed, and let's meet on Sunday. Bye.